All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining me. I'm your health fitness specialist, Quinn, here for the Exos at Autodesk Abs and Core class, 4 o'clock, Tuesday, Thursdays. We're going to go ahead and get started here, hopping right into it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to work into our hips and our quads a little bit with a forward lunge down on one knee, just bringing our knee out over the toe and keeping our chest nice and tall so as to work into that hip on the backward side here. Just getting a nice lunge forward, really dropping the hips down, driving the hips out. You can see my heel coming up just a little bit. Drive back and forward. One more on the side. And drive back. Good. Go ahead and switch sides there as we work through our lunge. One knee down, driving the knee out over the toe and pressing back. Trying to just drive that weight backwards as we come up, really stretching into front of this hip here. All right, now we're going to get into our quad rocks here. So we're going to go hands and knees down, one leg extended out to the side, and we're going to rock back into the hips, stretching all along the inside of that extended leg. Let's get a few more here. And switch sides. Just rocking nice and easy back and forth. Really working into the side, inside of that leg. Okay. Next up, we're going to do some glute bridge holds. So we're going to lay flat on our back, hips down on the ground, heels flat, hands down by the hips, and you're going to drive up towards the ceiling, all the way through your heels, holding at the top, and going slow back down, giving a slight tap, and back up with the tailbone, pushing all the way through the heels to get those hips in the air as you slowly come down, tap, and back up. Let's get a few more in here. Really try and pull that belly button up to the ceiling, getting those hips all the way up. And done. Okay, last one we've got here. We're going to be up on our feet. We've just got hamstring sweeps. So you're going to bring one foot out, toes pointed up. You're going to reach the hands behind the hips and sweep all the way through the ankle as we come straight back up to standing. Nice, big, long sweeps all the way through the heels and back up. Go ahead and switch sides. Nice, long stretch, should be feeling it all the way from the hip down into the heel. One big, long, sweeping stretch. Okay. All right. Now we're going to hop into our first circuit here. We're going to start off with mountain climbers. All right. So we've got 30 seconds of mountain climbers. We're going to get our hands down to the ground here. Wrists below the shoulders. And we're going to bring our feet and knees back. And we're going to drive the knees up to the chest, alternating our feet one at a time. 30 seconds on the clock. Nice even pace. Working nice and quick. Let's go. About 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Next up, we've got skydivers. So, similar to Superman's, we're going to just bring the hands down to the side at 90 degrees here. So you're like a scarecrow out to your side. We're going to pop the elbows and the hands and the feet up off the floor, pinching the shoulder blades back and down towards the hips, holding at the top, and slowly back down and up. Slowly down, popping up, pinching the shoulders down to the hips, pulling them away from the ears, keeping the hands and feet up, slowly down and back up. And the last one, up and slowly down. Good. Next up, we have our bird dogs. So we're going to extend, we're going to get into this quadruped position. We're going to stand the opposite hand with the foot. So if I bring my right hand out, I'm going to bring my left leg out along with it, stabilizing between the hand and the knee, keeping that weight nice and spread, slowly back down. This time we're going to keep going on the same side. So you don't alternate sides, but we're going to keep that same hand and knee planted down as we extend out. Really giving our chance to use those stabilizing muscles from the opposite sides. Go ahead and switch. A few more here, keep going. Nice, and in control of this entire movement, keeping that belly button tucked up and weight nice and stable. And down, good. All right, next up, we're flipping over onto our backs again. We're gonna get our feet flat. We've got our bicycle crunches. So we're gonna extend the legs out. We're gonna get our hands behind our head. As we crunch up, we're gonna twist and bring the elbow to the knee, giving a nice little rotation all the way up at the top. As we come down, you want to focus on calmly bringing your shoulders down to the floor. And when I mean calmly, I mean not just relaxing and dropping your weight, but trying to control both sides of the movement, the up and the down. Really work all the way through. One more. And done. Good. Next up, we have our leg lifts. So we're going to keep it laying in this flat position here. You're going to bring your hands down by your hips, extending the feet all the way out. And we're going to swing the legs up towards the ceiling and back down. Same thing here. We want to get nice and in control as we're moving through both sides of the movement, the up and the down. Really working hard here. Nice and calm pace, not getting too out of control. Few more. And relax. Okay, next up, we have our flutter kicks. So we're gonna extend the feet out, lifting the knees or the heels up about 2 inches off the ground. And we're just gonna go straight up and down for about 15 seconds. Nice and quick, 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 quick. All right, and we're going side to side, side to side, crisscross, putting one foot on top of the other and switching. A few more seconds and rest. Whew, good. All right, next up, we're gonna start back up at the top again, going into those mountain climbers. So we're flipping over, getting our hands right below our shoulders, picking those knees up as our feet come back, and we're driving the knee up to the chest, keeping our hips nice and level, bringing the knee up with those hips. Nice quick pace here. Good drive through the knee, getting those feet off the ground. About 10 more seconds, keep it up. And rest. Good. Now we've got our skydivers or scarecrows, whichever one you guys will remember them by. So we're gonna bring our hands out to 90 degrees here. As we pick the hands and feet up, elbows get pulled back ever so slightly, pulling the shoulders away from your ears and down towards the hips. And slowly back down as we pop straight back up when we hit the ground. And down again, up. Nice and in control. I want you guys to really focus on the down phase of each of our exercises as we're doing this. It's not just enough to do one side of the movement. You got to be able to control your way out of it. One more. And down. Good. Next up, we have our bird dogs. So we're going hands and knees here, extending opposite hand, opposite foot out. Ready, up. We're not alternating as we come back down, but using the same side. So slow and control back down and extending out again. Nice and flat, trying to get those hands and feet straight as far out as you can. And switch sides. Nice and in control as we come back down. Sucking that belly button up to the ceiling. Pushing the ground away from you with the hand and the knee. Last one. All right, now we're flipping over onto our backs, starting things off with the bicycle crunches. Getting our feet out in front of us, legs straight, hands behind the head, elbows bent, and we're going to twist up, bring the knee to the elbow, and in control as we come back down. Nice working pace. Try and stay up, stay moving, not resting for too long on the ground as we come back down. And finish. All right. Now we've got our leg lifts, hands down by the hips, feet together, and in one big sweeping motion, you're going to bring the toes up overhead. Sorry, folks. Keeping those legs nice and straight. Really trying to just work through those lower ab muscles. If you notice your hips starting to swing a lot as you come up, try and just keep your motions a little bit shorter to work on the strength of those lower abdominals a little bit more. About 10 more seconds. And down. Good. Now we've got our flutter kicks. 15 seconds going side to side, 15 seconds up and down. Ready, up. We're going side to side. Crisscrossing. One foot on top of the other. Oh, nice and quick, nice and quick. Keep those toes pointed forward. And up and down. Oh, starting to really feel it. Keep it going, guys. Keep it up. And rest. Good. Boy, the last three really kill those lower abs. All right, now we're going into our second circuit here. We're going to start off with our heel tap crunches. So laying flat on your back again, staying down. We're going to sit up and cross and tap the heels as we come across. Ready? So coming up, reaching for those heels, bringing the foot up and getting all the way up to those heels. Man, keep working hard. A few more seconds. And rest. Ooh, I'm feeling that. Man, all right. Staying on our backs. We've got our dead bugs, okay? So we're gonna bring feet up into the air, hands on the knees. Same with those bird dogs, we're just gonna alternate sides out, but we're gonna keep to the same side for 15 seconds and then switch. And switch. A little tricky coordination there. And rest. Good. Okay, next up, we have our shoulder taps. So we're going to flip over onto our hands. We're going to pop up into that plank position from our knees. So feet back, knees up. And get your feet a little wide here. And we're just going to switch back and forth. Shoulder taps. Bring that hand to the opposite shoulder. Trying to keep those hips nice and locked in so you're not swaying too much from side to side as you pick your hands up. Few more seconds. And done. Good. Next up, we have our plank. So we're going to go hands down on the ground here, forearms down. Same thing, we're going to bring feet back, knees up, holding that pillar position, shoulders and hips nice and in the line as we come up. holding for 30, pressing the ground away from us with our forearms, trying to keep the spine nice, flat line, sucking the belly button up to the spine and spine up to the ceiling. Holding up, keeping those hips up, not too high, of course, but a few more seconds. And down. Nice job, everybody. We've got one more time through with that circuit as we flip around, going back into those heel tap crunches. So legs starting straight out. We're going to twist up, tapping the hand to the heel, and we're going to move at a nice, even, working controlled pace for up and down. Nice and easy. A couple more seconds. Keep working hard. Last set here. And rest. Good. Next up, we have our dead bugs. So 15 seconds aside. We're going to bring our feet up, hands on the knees, opposite hand and leg out. Doesn't matter which one you do first. We're just going 15 seconds each side. And switch. Nice and easy, even working pace. And rest. Good. Next up we have, what do we have? Oh, we've got our shoulder taps. All right. So we're flipping over onto the hands here. Bringing the knees up off the ground, feet back. And bringing the feet out wide, a little bit wider than hip width. And we're going to switch out opposite hand, opposite shoulder. Coming across the body. Trying to keep those hips in a line, not swinging back and forth too much. Keep it up, couple more seconds. And rest. Good. Now we've got our plank. Last 30 seconds here. Really work hard. We're going to come down to the ground, forearms down, popping the knees up as we get up into our plank, hips off the ground, pushing the body away from us with our forearms and our shoulders, sucking that belly button up to the spine and all the way through the ceiling. Getting that back into a nice tabletop position. Couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job, everybody. That is it for our 2 circuits. We're going to start our cool down here with just a little bit of stretching. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to do a forward fold, a seated forward fold. So we're going to have our feet out straight in front, and legs and knees straight out, and we are just going to grab our shins, pulling the chest in towards the knees, getting into that lower back and the hamstrings. If you can, grabbing the toes, grabbing the foot, really reaching in to those hamstrings here. Getting some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. All right, sitting back up. We're gonna get into a hurdler stretch. So pulling the foot back towards our hip, bending the knee, and we're gonna lean onto the opposite arm as we roll over, back down into straight, working into that quad and the hip flexor there. So elbows down behind the hips. Trying to stretch out the front side of the leg. You can lay all the way down to the ground. Feel free to do so, but that can be difficult to get yourself out of. One more deep breath. And exhale. And roll back up from the opposite side. Switching legs. Pulling that opposite leg back towards the hip. Collapsing one arm down and rolling over to the side. Stretching out the front of the leg. And exhaling out. Inhale in. And exhale out. All right. Last one we're going to do here is our frog pose. So we're going to get our knees nice and wide on the ground, pointing the toes out to the side and bringing the forearms down. We're going to just sit back into those hips. Should be feeling this deep on the inside, your groin and your hips here, really opening up some tight muscles and tendons. And very slowly start to push yourself forward as you take the weight out of the stretch and bring yourself back up to your feet or to your kneeling position. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Really appreciate everyone who stops by. Hope you had a good workout, and I'll see you on Thursday, 4 o'clock. Don't forget about Wednesday boot camp at noon and our functional fitness Friday at noon as well. Hope to see you guys there.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.